So today I'm really pleased to be here with Abi Elphinstone, the author of Dream Snatcher and The Shadow Keeper, who's also currently shortlisted for one of the Books on My Bag Breakthrough Awards.
Exciting.
Which is super exciting, so congratulations for that.
Thank you.
But today we are here to talk about Abi's latest project, which is of course the anthology Winter Magic, which you can see here on this lovely
Pretty bunting.
bunting behind us. Let's just move him. So Winter Magic is this amazing collection of festive, wintry short stories by some amazing authors, including Emma Carroll and Piers Torday and Amy Allwood and loads more. And I'm really, really proud to have a story in here myself. So today I wanted to have a little bit of a chat with Abi about the book, about how the idea came about, and of course about her own story in it as well.
Perfect.
So first of all, I just wanted to ask you a little bit about the book and where the original idea for this collection came from.
So my publishers, Simon & Schuster, agreed with me that the calibre of stories being written by UK writers for 8 to 12-year-olds is absolutely outstanding. You've got something for everybody. You've got animal stories by Lauren St. John and Piers Torday. You've got adventures by Catherine Rundell and Peter Bunzel. You've got so many things. Comic stories by is it Phil Earle and Ross Montgomery, exactly. And we thought it would be fun to gather some of this talent together in an anthology. And we thought we'd focus on winter because I think at winter there is a sense of longing for snowflakes and stockings and sledging, but definitely also for stories. I think there's that real love of nurturing, sitting down with a book and reading by a fire in a cosy armchair. So we wanted to create a really varied collection of stories that reflect the magic of winter by some of the best writers around.
Yeah, and I think this really is going to be such a lovely book for people to sort of read and share together, kind of around the fire at Christmas.
It's got that cosy feel. There's some stories that you are being sort of taken on an adventure on a fur-lined sled, and then there's your beautifully reimagined Nutcracker Ballet, all the beauty of St. Petersburg, draped in snow and, waltzing, dances and things. So I think, there's definitely something for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, was that an exciting part of the process? Obviously, you've curated this, so you've kind of been part of the process right from the beginning in terms of choosing the stories and sort of seeing it all come to fruition. So was it quite exciting when the stories were kind of popping into your inbox and you get to read each one?
Yeah, they weren't sent all at once, so I'd have them sporadically popping into my inbox, and I was really blown away by the variety. I thought that there would be a real sense of continuity in terms of the subject matter, but absolutely everybody has written about something completely different.
But and there's still that lovely core of Christmassy warmth and
absolutely
wintry magic.
And that unparalleled sense of wonder, when you wake up in the morning and there's snow on the ground and your world looks different. So I think every story captures that.
Yeah.
And for me it was a real treat because some of the authors in this anthology, I grew up as a child reading their books. So
me too.
Like Michelle Magorian, Goodnight Mr. Tom, one of my all-time favourite books. And then to have her poem pop into my inbox, and I thought, wow, this is exciting.
It's really special.
And Geraldine McCorcoran as well. Yeah. I read her book, The White Darkness, set in the Antarctic. And I knew she wrote snow and ice well. I mean, she writes everything well.
Yeah.
But then to have her writing a story here as well, and Jamila Gavin, Burley Doherty, a lot of variety by a lot of talent.
It's amazing. And obviously your own story is the one that finishes the book, which is gorgeous, The Snow Dragon. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that? Because it is such a special story and it makes a really fitting conclusion to the book.
It's a nice end, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
So where did the idea of the Snow Dragon come from?
So it started when I was asked by my publishers to send an outline for the story that I wanted to write. So I drew up this outline and I said, I want to write about a Kazakh eagle huntress who is kidnapped by an evil shaman, and she's forced to eat larch sap to survive and snow, and she's attacked by enraged bears. Went on and on and on. And there was silence from my editor. And then this email pinged in my inbox and it just said, I'm just not sure that's particularly winter magic. And so I sat down and I thought, well, what would I really want at Christmas? And I think I'd want a miracle. So many children do. And not just a present, but something
magical. To happen.
And so then I thought, well, what would be the most impossibly brilliant miracle that could happen? And I thought, well, probably a dragon. So I then started thinking about a little girl that might encounter a dragon and how that would happen. And I remembered reading, I don't know if we can get this into the shot, Jackie Morris's Tell Me a Dragon.
Beautiful book.
Yeah. Jackie is one of my favourite illustrators and authors. And in this book, which is about every child having a dragon that befriends them, there is the ice dragon.
Oh, wow.
With its feathery, I don't know, even skin or whatever it is, a beautiful dragon. And as soon as I saw that, I just thought, I want to write about a snow dragon. And so the book is about, the story is about a 10-year-old orphan called Phoebe. And she realises on Christmas Eve that she's the only child left in the orphanage at Griselda Bones' Home for Strays. And the ethos there is really, really horrible. The motto is, he who bites hardest usually wins. Daydreaming is banned, skipping is forbidden. And Phoebe does all of those things and more. And on Christmas Eve, she accidentally invents a word. And branded as a word murderer by Griselda, she's locked in this little kennel. And then on Christmas Eve at night, she dares to hope for a miracle. And that miracle might involve a snow dragon and a dancing dachshund, because why not?
I have to say that Herb, the character of the dog in this story, is just my favourite thing ever. I
He's
really
sweet,
want
isn't
my
he?
own.
Well, all I knew when I said I'm going to write about a dragon, and then I thought of Jackie's dragon, and I had that in my head, and then I just kept seeing a little girl in the scoop of the dragon's neck with a sausage dog. I don't know why. It was a really incongruous image in a way, but actually then I thought, well, this little dog's got to give this girl who's so miserable some sort of happiness. And I thought, well, what would make me happy if I was alone in an orphanage with Griselda Bone? A dancing dog. And so he tries to cheer her up by doing a waltz in the corridor or a samba down the stairs or whatever. So it was a nice balance with Griselda's.
It's brilliant.
evil.
And I love Griselda. She's such a brilliant kind of
Trench
Dalek,
bally.
horrible
Yeah,
villain.
that was fun writing. I wrote slightly for a younger age group, I think.
Yeah.
And fun going into those almost caricature type villains,
Yeah.
like Trunchbull.
And how did you find in general the experience of writing a short story as opposed to writing a longer children's book?
So the pain was over quickly. I found it really exciting, actually. I'd never written a short story before, so this was my first go. And at first, I think I was a bit overwhelmed because I'm used to writing 70,000-word adventure epics, like that kind of thing. And so it was really intimidating, thinking, well, I've only got 8,000 to 10,000 words or whatever we had. So I found that a little bit of a barrier at first, thinking, how do I condense? But once I'd really thought my story through, and I thought, well, I don't need to have loads of subplots and loads of characters. I can scale it down, and I actually scaled the age down slightly. And I thought it was really, really liberating. I don't know about you, but I loved reading short stories as a child. And I used to be a teacher, and I used to read Roald Dahl's short stories, The Landlady and Lamb to the Slaughter. And I love how in short stories you can go dark, but there has to be an overwhelming message of hope or whatever that can carry it through. And so I liked trying to strike that best message of a darkness with this woman who's trying to stamp out childishness and a message of hope.
With the snow dragon.
With the snow dragon.
Yes, of course. Now, I have to also ask you a little bit about The Night Spinner, which is going to be the third and final, am I right? The final book of
for the
Mole's
moment.
trilogy.
Yeah, that doesn't really make sense, but maybe one day I'll revisit.
So that's coming out in February. Can you
Yeah.
give us any hints about what we might expect from The Night Spinner?
So the first two books, The Dream Snatcher and The Shadow Keeper, are adventures set firstly in the forest and then down by the sea with secret caves and smugglers. And they're a bunch of children fighting back against this dark magic. And the third book is set up in the northern wilderness. So I've gone to mountains this time. People often say, what comes first, character or plot or setting? And for me, I think it is setting. It's really rooted in the stories I write. So it's an adventure up in the northern wilderness. There are witches. There's a giant called Wallop. Because why not?
Brilliant, I love it.
What else are there? There are, there's a goblin called Kittle Rumpet. So I was reading all these Scottish folk tales, and there's a rewriting of Rumpelstiltskin, and I love the word Rumpelstiltskin. So fun to say, impossible to write. And the Scottish version of Rumpelstiltskin is about a goblin called Kittle Rumpet. And so I've got my own version of him in these underground tunnels under the moors. But essentially, it's me revisiting my childhood where I grew up in Scotland. The lochs, the mighty moors, the cairns, the castles on the west coast. And so it really did feel like being 12 again.
Oh, it sounds so fantastic. I can't wait to read it.
Well, thank you. I'm looking forward to your next one as well.
Well, we've both got a new one in February, so that's
Yeah.
exciting. And then after that, do you have any ideas about what you might be working on next?
Yes, I'm 20,000 words into it. It's another adventure for 8, 9 to 12-year-olds. It's set in the frozen north, so it's up in the polar regions.
Wow, so some more
Yeah.
winter magic.
Yes, exactly. I shall be borrowing these snowflakes soon. It's a story about an eagle huntress and a boy who is an inventor and an organ made of icicles. But it's also a story about belonging, even at the very edges of our world. So, yeah, it's big, bold characters and hopefully a very wild setting. I can explore glaciers and, ice plains and polar bears and killer whales. And it's inspired by some of my adventures to the Arctic.
Fantastic.
Which I'm really excited about, sort of talking to children about in school visits.
Yeah,
and things.
absolutely. That sounds incredible. Well, I can't wait for that one either.
Thank you.
So good luck with it. And we hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Do give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and look out for Winter Magic in the shops now.